Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history. I thought it was you for a second. Hey, my man, he's a bitch ass. Get that guy the fuck out of here. We gotta have some fun.
Like the man convicted of attacking Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl, well, he's now suing the venue.
Clean that mess up. Get that out of here. Don't do this on the stage. Get him the fuck out of here. And an ambulance. Hold on, see what he's doing. I'm gonna see if this has a statement.
I'm sure all of you remember the guy who attacked Dave Chappelle on stage a few years ago, right? In case you don't, I'll recap. Isaiah Lee is a sensitive bisexual man who admittedly got triggered from jokes told by stand-up comedian legend Dave Chappelle. Now, I know what many of you are thinking. If you're a sensitive person, especially being part of the LGBTQ, why in the hell would you go in person to see a Dave Chappelle comedy show? I have difficulty understanding why someone would put themselves in such a scenario in the first place. Yet Isaiah Lee, the attacker, told investigators that his unhinged assault was a form of protest against specific jokes Chappelle told towards the gay and homeless community. But you know what the best part of this whole story is? Well, second best part is the fact that Isaiah told authorities that Chappelle should have had a team of people to run the jokes past before green lighting them. Essentially, Dave needed to gather the Justice League of marginalized people and have them vet his jokes before being publicly consumed. Netflix even had its own employees jump on the sensitivity bandwagon with this nonsense.
Man accused of attacking Dave Chappelle on stage says he was triggered by the comedian's jokes. Video of the stunning takedown at the Hollywood Bowl was obtained by TMZ May 3rd. In an exclusive jailhouse interview with the New York Post now, Isaiah Lee says he didn't like Chappelle's jokes about the LGBTQ community and homelessness, but insisted he never meant to hurt the comedian. Lee spoke from the Twin Towers Correctional Facility saying, "I identify as bisexual and I wanted him to know what he said was triggering. I wanted him to know that next time he should consider first running his material by people it could affect."
Tonight, Netflix employees walking out of the company's Hollywood office after weeks of internal backlash.
If your satire is punching down, you are being a bully.
Yeah! Employees angered over Netflix's handling of Dave Chappelle's new comedy special, The Closer, which features jokes centered on his relationship with the trans community. Some employees calling the special transphobic.
We didn't care what Dave Chappelle was doing until you come for our community.
In internal communications with employees, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos argued that the special was popular with subscribers and would lead to no real-world harm.
He did not feel it amounted to hate speech, which went down incredibly badly with Netflix's own trans and LGBTQ plus employees.
They didn't care when Dave made racially disparaging remarks about other black people, but since he included their Flavor of the Month marginalized group, then it became too much. The infamous Black Klansman skit wasn't too offensive for you, but his commentary about his real-life experiences with trans folk is where the line gets drawn. This type of fervor is what fuels insane people like Isaiah Lee and continues to fan the flames of hate in our society. But listen to what Dave has to say in the face of all this controversy and compare it to what is being said about him. He's not just going to acquiesce to the selective outrage of a mindless group of drones, but rather sit and discuss issues like an adult.
Grand Monday, Chappelle insists that the real issue isn't between him and the transgender community.
You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore. I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say.
The controversy all began when The Closer hit Netflix earlier this month.
Comedians have a responsibility to
to speak recklessly. Sometimes the funniest thing to say is maybe. Remember, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because it's funny.
As more feedback flowed in online, the comedian's rep told ET he's open to speaking to those who work at Netflix and are upset by his jokes, saying, quote, "Dave stands by his art. Both sides of the street are talking and Dave is listening. At some point, when everyone is open, I'm sure our communities will come together."
For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about.
Chappelle reiterated that invitation in his video, but it comes with a few conditions.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. Am I canceled or not?
So whatever happened to Isaiah Lee? LA County prosecutors chose not to charge Lee with a felony. Instead, they gave him a misdemeanor charge of battery, possession of weapon with intent to assault, unauthorized access to the stage area during a performance, and commission of an act that delays an event or interferes with a performer. After all that, this guy still gets coddled. It's amazing. Lee's attorneys cited homelessness and mental illness, and an LA County Superior Court judge granted Lee a mental health diversion, which waived his speedy trial rights for 2 years after he entered a no contest plea. Lee was sentenced to 270 days in jail after serving his time. He was conditionally released to the Lake Hughes Recovery Center in Gorman, California. But the story doesn't end there. Now this guy wants to sue Hollywood Bowl because he feels their security didn't do enough to stop Dave's security team from stomping a mud hole in him.
Tonight, the man convicted of attacking Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl, well, he's now suing the venue. And KCAL assignment editor Mike Rogers is live at the desk now. And Mike, what is he suing for?
Yeah, Pat, this one was a little bit strange, but we went through the lawsuit here. He is suing the Hollywood Bowl for negligence and battery. Now, I want to show you that video that was obtained by TMZ. You see the man identified as Isaiah Lee jumping across the stage here and attacking Chappelle as he was on stage in 2022 at the Hollywood Bowl, part of the Netflix Is a Joke. Here is Isaiah Lee as his court appearances went on. Now, ultimately, Isaiah would take a lower penalty here through the city attorney's office after the DA kicked the case down to a misdemeanor. Lee would ultimately be convicted of this and be able to spend some time in mental health court. But now he is suing. I want to come to my computer here because I've got a copy of the lawsuit and I want to walk you through it. Part of it says that the Hollywood Bowl hired security that did not do enough to protect him when he says he was getting beaten up after jumping on stage. He also accuses Dave Chappelle's security team of doing the same thing, as he says the Hollywood Bowl security sat and watched. I want to read you a part of this. The plaintiff has endured severe life-altering injuries and suffered a significant loss of enjoyment of life. These injuries included, but are not limited to, a dislocated shoulder requiring immediate surgery and back injuries that have resulted in permanent loss of mobility. They go on to say the plaintiff cannot fully use his shoulder and can no longer enjoy certain physical activities he did before this whole incident happened.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I want you to just wrap your brain around this for a second. This guy, Mr. Sensitive, Isaiah Lee, goes to a Dave Chappelle event clearly with the intent to harm him, then says he gets triggered by a joke and assaults Dave on stage in front of hundreds of people only to get his ass beat as a result. And now he's claiming to be a victim and he needs to sue. Isaiah fucked around and found out, and now he needs to change his pronouns from he, him to that dumbass. But tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe I'm just being too mean, but hey, I'm the commentary king and I'll see you around.